Circular saws are one of the most common tools in any woodworking shop. But here's the question that confuses so many beginners. Are circular saw blades universal? Can you just pick up any blade off the shelf and put it on your saw? Today, I'm going to break this down in a way that's simple, clear, and practical, so you'll never waste money on the wrong blade again. First, let's start with the basics. Circular saw blades are not completely universal. The two most important things you need to look at are the diameter of the blade and the arbor size. If those don't match your saw, the blade simply won't fit, no matter what type of project you're working on. Most standard circular saws use blades between 6.5 and 7 1/4 inches. But some compact saws may use 4 1/4-inch blades, and larger saws might use 10-inch blades. Always check your saw's manual to see the maximum blade size it can handle safely. Now let's talk about the arbor hole, which is the center hole of the blade. Most circular saws use a 5/8-inch arbor, but some worm drive saws use a diamond-shaped arbor. If your arbor hole doesn't match your saw, you'll run into serious problems. Adapters exist, but it's always safer to use the correct fit. So what about the type of blade? Here's where things get interesting. You'll find blades for ripping, cross-cutting, fine woodworking, plywood, metal, masonry, and even blades designed for ultra-clean cuts in laminates. While technically, many of these blades can fit into the same saw, if the size and arbor match, using the wrong type of blade for the wrong material is a recipe for burning, chipping, or even damaging your tool. For example, if you try cutting hardwood with a blade that only has 24 teeth, you'll get rough, splintered edges. On the other hand, if you try to rip through a 2x4 with a 100-tooth fine finish blade, it'll cut way too slowly, heat up, and wear out faster. The right blade choice makes all the difference in efficiency and quality. Now let's tackle another myth, using larger blades than what your saw is rated for. Some people think it's okay to put a 7 1/4-inch blade on a 6 1/5-inch saw. The problem is your saw guard and housing are designed for specific sizes, and going bigger can be dangerous. Stick with the recommended size only. Here's a pro tip. If you're working on a lot of different projects, it's smart to own multiple blades. A 24-tooth framing blade for fast, rough cuts, a 40-tooth general-purpose blade for everyday use, and maybe a fine-tooth plywood blade for clean finishes. Swapping blades only takes a few minutes, and the difference in results is huge. Another thing to consider is blade material. Carbide-tipped blades last much longer than standard steel blades, especially when cutting hardwood or plywood. They're more expensive up front, but in the long run, they save money because they stay sharp much longer. So to answer the question, are circular saw blades universal? The short answer is no. You can't just use any blade with any saw. The diameter, arbor size, and application all matter. But once you understand these three things, choosing the right blade becomes easy, and you'll always get the results you want. If this video helped you clear up the confusion, make sure to hit the like button, share it with your woodworking friends, and subscribe to Woodworking Advisor for more clear, practical, and professional woodworking tips.